We're going to dive into the 9 laws of conscious creation. I have such a passion for what I'm about to share. I could take a week in mentorship with you on these principles. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to encourage you to take notes. And instead of getting too busily caught up in those notes, I want to invite you to get super present with the message that you need to hear on the principles that you want to start living. And I want to talk a little bit about these principles. And before I do, I want to share with you why these principles. And I want to just share with you a little bit from my own life experience. How many of you would love to possess the magic lamp? Come on now. How about the magic lamp that bestows more than just 3 limited wishes? Man, whoever put that boundary on that genie saying 3, I would do this. Limited. It's like the worst thing I could ever say to you. Stop being so limited. Because we're what? Limitless. We are limitless. So we all have access to the genie and the magic lamp. It's kind of a fun story. It actually does not even take place in Agrabah in the Middle East. It's an old Chinese fable. And in the original, Aladdin did not get 3 wishes. He got as many wishes as he wanted. Now, with these 9 laws I'm going to share, do you know who the possessor of the lamp is? Do you know who the genie is? Yes, our highest self. Our highest self that taps into and understands these laws of the universe and works with the creator of all of them in co-creation. So I want to tell you a little bit of a story of my life and the rapid meteoric rise of how everything shifted from being absolutely poor. You see, I was absolutely poor in this first house you see on the left. This is the first house I bought with the help of one of my mentors. And the day I bought it, I went from being deeply in debt to $40,000 of positive net worth. And 4 years later, that house on the left, my wife and I custom built that 10,000 square foot house. Which is so crazy because that was just after the year I graduated from college. So I retired a year after I got my degree. And I wanted to be a doctor, and then I realized, for me personally, my path, there was no degree that I could get in the college system that was actually going to give me the income that I wanted. I wanted more than an average income because when I was 8 years old, I felt God tap me on the shoulder and say, Chris, you hear your parents fighting about money again? Out of your 8 other siblings, it will be your stewardship to care for your parents. And it wasn't a burden. I received it with gladness. I remember thinking, excellent. I get to find a way to take care of how many families when I grow up? 2. So being a doctor wasn't going to work for me. And when I started my business and just followed the mentorship and the inspiration and where it took me, you know what I did is I decided, man, it doesn't matter what degree I get. I'm going to get one because my mother-in-law is going to kill me if I don't. That would have been a true story. So I got a degree in marriage, family, human development, family science, basic psychology, right? And I use this degree all the time. It's awesome. I just really don't use it much career-wise, if you get me on that. And frankly, the reality is I was working full-time, going to school full-time, trying to spend time with my wife, and I spent more time with her in class playing footsies because she had the same major than we did at home with trying to, anyone here ever done 2 of those full-time thingies? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Everything changed drastically because of the information that I'm going to share with you. That's the limitless wealth. Another thing that I want to show you here is this is a picture of me in 2008, weighing 235 pounds. This is me last month, weighing 235 pounds. Okay? Now, listen, I don't put that up here because I want to make myself the hero of anything. I went to the gym like the next guy 5 days a week for a decade, and my body still looked like 2008. Until I finally said, Chris, you got a mentor in money, you got a mentor in God, you have all these mentors, but you have no mentors in body. And so I finally got sick of it. I'm like, this is crazy. I'm exerting all this effort, all these crazy diets, all my family's struggling with being overweight. I need to get a mentor. And I got a mentor. And instantly, things started changing in my life. And it was so powerful because I realized, man, I don't have to be this person I look at the mirror and just say, oh, that doesn't represent my spirit. It doesn't match. And I learned that I could do something to make it match. You know, my wife and I, some of you don't know, but the first decade of our life felt like hell on earth. It had its high points, but man, did it have its low points. We got to the point where we nearly contemplated divorce and started having those conversations. Later on, I'll share with you what changed it. There was a decision that changed everything. Since that time, my wife and I have gone on some of the craziest, most amazing, unbelievable adventures. And I learned that I could not fix my wife, and I couldn't fix the people in my life that I didn't like. There was only one person to fix. Friends, you getting the life you want has nothing to do with anyone else but yourself. And then the paradox is it changes how you interact and show up with the people in your life. I look at some of these pictures, and top left corner is me and my dad. My dad's hugely a Seahawks fan, and when they went to this Super Bowl 2 years ago for the first time, I said, man, I'm going to go buy those several $1,000 tickets, go to the stadium with my dad, and I just sat there the entire time watching the joy on his face, watching the game. And it was awesome. And the Seahawks won, which made it even better. And it was a total blowout. And I'll tell you what, by the end of the second half, being with the Bronco fans, not so cool. Very hostile. Sorry, Colorado. Oh, no. I'm just messing. We're all good. One love. My wife and I have had a chance to go to Jerusalem and Egypt. Setting foot into the tomb of the Savior was one of the most sacred highlights of my life. Having a chance, Dome of the Rock, going to Thailand. My wife and I, we got a chance to, it was like one of my favorite memories. We got this private villa on top of this mountain in Thailand, Phuket, overlooking the ocean. In our room, we had our own private villa. So when you were laying in bed, the whole wall was open. And beyond the wall was your own private infinity pool. And beyond the infinity pool was the ocean. I mean, it was just, I'll never forget that. Putting all the puzzle pieces together on the 9 laws I'm about to share with you has completely transformed my life. It almost sometimes feels unfair to breathe this oxygen, which is so amazing. Because the moment a negative emotion arises inside of me, I have a tool to obliterate it. We all say we have 24 hours in a day. That is bullcrap. We do not share the same 24 hours. Someone who is conscious, their 24 hours is not the same as the unconscious. The unconscious is nothing more than a repetition of what's not working, not present. You want more time, you don't need more hours. You need to be present. And that's what will buy that for you. I want to share this last thing, personal power. So my wife and I have been learning and mastering these skills, and then something happened with our second child, Kaiser. We noticed already at the age of 1, he wasn't even walking. He wasn't keeping up with his milestones. By the time he was 2, he still wasn't talking. And by the time he was 3, my wife and I became very concerned because he was obviously severely developmentally delayed. We knew he was autistic. And in this world, there are certain things you say you can't fix. Autism is a condition untreatable. To have cancer that is terminal, you can't fix. To deal with being overweight, and it's a chronic problem, you've been dieting for decades, you can't fix. Man, I'm not doing this. Are you kidding me? My wife and I, when we found our son was autistic, we said, this is easy choice. We are choosing to operate in a space of faith that out there is a solution. We were led by this gift of intuition I'm about to talk about, one of the 9 laws, to a doctor on the East Coast. And he diagnosed our son, not quite as deeply profound autistic, but very autistic. And there they used a scale ranging from 1,000 to 100. They say when you drop under 200, you're in the normal spectrum. When you're 1,000, you're profoundly autistic. And this doctor, over the last decade, for children under the age of 8, has had an incredible rate of success of bringing these children from this permanent condition into a normal spectrum of living. And we worked with that doctor for 3 years. And on the left, my son started out of 1,000 at 436. He ended his treatment actually around 160 points. And the doctor said, there's no more to do. This is as good as we get it. He's normal. And don't you dare clap for me, but celebrate with me, because I give the glory to God, because we are co-creators with him, and I'm going to share with you the 9 laws, his 9 laws of conscious creation. And here's what I know, whether you believe them or not, when you live them, you get the results. You get the fruit that comes from these 9 laws. How many are there? 9. So how many of you want to go through them right now? I'm going to give them to you right now. First one is what we call the law of intuition. I'm going to teach you 6 steps. I live these 6 steps. Intuition says that you have access to all the information outside of you that you don't own. So by the way, I have it all right now. I have access to any information that I need. The law of intuition, we are infinite beings with access to limitless wisdom and insight. We can access this wisdom by listening through intuition to our sacred selves in connection with the divine. On stage, you witness belief breakthrough. Intuition is a part of that process, because I'm going to meet a stranger. I can't even possibly begin to know you or understand you. I've been married for 14 years. I can't even begin to understand my wife. I said yes to everything she hasn't even done decades from now. I don't know what choices she's going to make, but I said yes to all of it. This intuition gives you access to the insight that you need. How many of you in this room really get stuck in your head? You've been told that. You get stuck in your head. Okay. You need to be more in your heart. Have you heard some of that language? This intuition says that at a moment's notice, the information was always present. You simply needed to tap into it. How many of you would like to know how? This is worth writing down. First, I want to share with you this. Inspiration is required for big manifestations. So how many of you have big manifestations, big things you want to create, big desires? You will require inspiration to manifest them. Inspiration is given when necessary to achieve the logistics of manifesting, which I will give you the formula at the end for how you get everything that you want. The universe will cooperate with us when we apply the law of attraction with faith, but you have to summon the inspiration to work with the universe to get the direction you need to produce the end results. AKA, this inspiration, this intuition, it is required, not once a day, ever present. And your life will move at the speed of potential. Here's the steps. Ground, ask, listen, receive, trust, and act. Let's practice. Close your eyes, pens down. Deep breath. Grounding means to clear your mind and to prepare a space to receive information. Taekwondo, create a space, then fill it. We're creating space. Number 2, ask. Everyone in this room has had a question for a long time that you've been wanting an answer on. And some of you think you got to get calluses on your knees or that you have to wait a certain amount of time. Nope. The information was always available. So first thing I want you to do is put your hand up if you can get clear with the question you'd love to get an answer to. Put your hand up if you got a question that you would love to get an answer to. Right now. Keep them coming. Hold them high. Just give you some time. Excellent. Put your hands down. Close your eyes. Deep breath in through your, I like to breathe in through my nose. I like to feel my whole chest cavity when I ground. And slowly controlled release that, because man, it's amazing how 3 good breaths just feels like, yeah. And now time for the question. In your mind, ask the question that you've been waiting all this time for an answer for. And watch a miracle happen. And as you ask, receive and trust what you get. You have to trust what you get. When you get some information, the first thing that comes up, grab that. You're going to be tempted to doubt it or say, that can't be it. Don't do that. Never doubt intuition, ever. And if you received an answer to a question, would you just put your hand up? Okay, and can I get a mic? Keep your hand up if you're willing to actually just share your experience right here. Just share with us the question and the answer that you got.
My name is Ruth.
Hey, Ruth.
My big question was, how can I get a solid focus and direction? And my answer was like, as I was actually asking it, and that was organization, organize.
Yeah. Guys, give it up for her. This is so beautiful. Thank you. I ask hundreds of questions a day so that I can get all my baby steps and breadcrumbs. Because when I give you this formula for how you get what you want, you're going to have to let go of how you get it. We got to receive that information. You got to know what you want. Not how, not when. Perfect. Thank you, Ruth, for doing that. Okay, so intuition is key to living your life at the speed of your potential. When you live life at your potential, man, a lot of fulfillment coming in. Okay, here's the next one. Law of alignment. Law of what? Okay, we get misaligned. The belief breakthrough work is to get us realigned. Everything we say, everything we think, everything we do must be in alignment with what we want to manifest. Now, that's a very powerful absolute. When our beliefs and actions are out of alignment with truth, it creates suffering and problems in our lives. And the more closely our beliefs resonate with truth, the greater power we have to manifest the creation and even do it with ease. How many of you want to get what you want easy? Man. So we practice this a lot in our seminars. Understand that a belief is nothing more than an acceptance of a statement that you hold to be true. Does not mean that it is. Change occurs when you accept a thought. Emotion is what causes us to really accept these thoughts. So if we can alter the beliefs that don't serve us, they will shift our behaviors into alignment to get what we want. We will start producing the correct actions. Here are the top 30 limiting beliefs I see human beings suffering with. And in the back of your book, like page 9 or 10, there's a space for you to write limiting beliefs in your turnarounds. I'm going to take a minute right now. I'm going to have Carson cue up just a little bit of music and give yourself the gift for 2 minutes. The ones here that resonate with you, write them down. This is your work. I'm not good enough. If that fits, man, write that down. Space created in your workbook. I can't do it. It's just an idea. I'm not worthy or worth it. It's so weird being a 12-year-old looking multimillionaire. I'm too old, I'm too young, whatever. My body can't do that. You're going to make yourself right. I don't know enough. If you do that one, write that down. I'm not special. Sweet, sweet pity parties. I was so good at them. No one loves me. I shouldn't do it because it'll create drama. My spouse won't support me. My family will think I'm weird. I shouldn't do that thing. Man, I don't even deserve it. Oh, I'm allergic to this garbage. I can't afford it. Oh, it's ugly. No one will help me. It's never been done. I don't have the strength. Here's one. I don't have the energy. Oh my gosh, how many of you are so good at biologically manipulating your chemistry to reduce your energy levels so that you can be right with not having energy? I've been diagnosed with chronic fatigue, and I don't mean to make light. Listen, I've just seen just about everything cured that you can put up here. And I'm not promising that we can do that. I'm just telling you that the mind, the body must obey it. And circumstance will show up. And when you believe your circumstance is bigger than you, then you create permission for it to spread and have a home. I don't create a home for what doesn't work. I don't make a home for fibromyalgia. I don't make a home for chronic pains and fatigues and ailments. I definitely don't make a home for cancer. Those things love to ensue because they follow our beliefs, especially the ones that make room for them to thrive. I don't know how to do it. Too busy. God doesn't want me to. Like, money is evil. It's like, man, you just called God evil. He just said he wants to give you everything. And you said money's bad? You just called God bad. He's the creator of all resource. And you're saying, oh, resource isn't good. It's weird blasphemy. No one cares about me. I can't change. Change is hard. Man, change is easy. It's fun. Get me energized. I'm scared. I'm afraid. Oh, that's not my nature. Listen, you want to know something crazy? So I serve this 2-year Christian mission for my church, and when I get out there, I am so nervous. And when I would meet someone, I would totally hesitate. They would have to be the first to put their hand forward to do this handshake thing, and it was like this mental struggle. I was quiet. And then a little chit chat with myself. Man, this is not going to go that well if you can't open your mouth and like have a voice. And I challenged myself to get a little bit outgoing. It worked. Trust me, if you knew that kid, if I can do it, you can do it. Right, Malia? You remember that kid. Hunched over. Yeah. No one listens to me. Then shut up and start listening to yourself. I'm too stupid. I'm too fat. There's too much risk. Ugh. The people that say there's too much risk are living in the greatest risk. Amazing. It'll take too long. All right. These are the top 30. Did you guys jot down some good notes on these? Okay, these have got to get blasted through this afternoon and tomorrow so we can leave you like massively liberated, okay? Law of alignment is key. You guys excited about some more of that breakthrough? Okay, we're going to have fun. Now, here's how you know that you have a problem with your alignment. You don't think, oh, I have a negative belief. I have a limiting belief. No, what you feel is emotion. Your emotion is your compass. Stephen Hawking, he created this scale, shame and humility and misery as a 20, the national average at being just under 200 and going all the way up to 1,000 with enlightenment. I really don't know what any of the numbers really mean, but I do know this. I like to be above the fray. Dude, who enjoys feeling sad? The moment it comes up, sadness comes up. Sadness, misery, depression. And it's an opportunity. It doesn't mean you are sad. That's something you're feeling. You are not your emotion. It's something you're experiencing. So you look at it, and here's my first impulse. I got a limiting belief. Solve the mystery on the limiting belief, and what happens in the negative emotion? Can you imagine living in a world without that? Can you imagine it? Guess what? You can get there. How do you do it? Fix your beliefs. They're nothing more than an indication of your belief system, just like being happy. That's also an indication. It's not an accident. This is something you can learn to control. Okay, here's the formula for creating new beliefs. You got to take intense, powerful emotions, you combine them with new beliefs, and then you produce change. This is worth mastering. By the way, that's what we do in the Inner Circle or with our 90-day launch program on breakthroughs, the different things. It's all about what do you do to take your first steps to learn how to own this. Please keep coming back to Limitless, but do everything in your power to learn how to implement this. I want to give you the principles so that you can be the master of this. Next. Take a picture. We good? All right, good. Okay, law of purpose. Law of what? Purpose. Man, how many of you know you got a purpose? Put your hand up. How many of you know you got a mission? I know Val's got a mission. He got a purpose. And I'll tell you something. We all have our own unique purpose on this planet. So by the way, I know we got people here like, oh, I've got no value, no self-worth, I got nothing to give. Oh, you are so selfish. Way to rob humanity of your gift. You're so stuck in believing this garbage that someone dished on a plate that you ate, ingested, it tasted horrible, and then you puke it up and eat it again. It's disgusting. My dog would do that. That you're not creating contribution in the world. You got a purpose. And you can't be living it while you're too busy with this garbage. I'm not good enough, and I don't like myself, and no one likes me, and I hate myself, and I'm too fat and old. And dude, get over it. You got a purpose and you're alive, and you're here and you're now. You know how I know you're supposed to be here? Ba-bum. Until it stops beating, you are supposed to be here. So use your time wisely. You got a purpose. Our sacred self embodies the highest expression of this purpose. Conscious creators seek to know who they are, how to live it, because this produces, what do we really want? Fulfillment. And money absolutely can be a byproduct. All right, with this one, just want to give you a clue into your purpose, a single Sanskrit word I shared yesterday, Satchidananda. It means follow your bliss. I try so hard to be a doctor, taking organic chemistry for the second time, hating my life. I'm like, I don't get the valence electrons. How do they connect? Did not like me being me in that class. I know you love chemistry. No offense. It's just me. I hate chemistry. One of the days I'll be willing to face it, but I haven't found a practical reason to like chemistry yet. Right. All right. We all got our work, right? Law of choice and accountability. Choice and what? Now, we've been talking a lot about this one. Check this out. I love these lyrics. We are solely responsible for the results in our life. Now, just soak that in. Who's responsible? Everything you love. You help create that. Everything you hate, guess what? We got to start asking ourselves, how did I participate in this creation? There's no such thing as my ex-husband screwed everything up for me. Dude, no. You live in that story, and all you've done is sabotage your entire future to have a meaningful, powerful future relationship. You will keep sabotaging until you learn the lessons of how you contributed to what didn't work. I don't care what good or what wrong happened. What was your part? Come to peace with it. Learn the lesson. Regardless of outside influences or circumstances, because I get it, in life circumstances show up. Here's the question. Are they bigger than you, or are you bigger than them? Oh, I got a cold. Oh, I got this. I got cancer. Oh my gosh, I'm going to die. When do you shrink and when do you step into your fullness of who you are? We can always choose what we think and what we do. We are accountable for the results that we create. While we cannot always control what happens to us, we can choose how we perceive it, how we respond. The more accountability we take, the greater power you have to manifest what you want. So this is one of my favorite examples of this, of all my mentors, Viktor Frankl. And I got a chance to step foot in concentration camps. My father's German, and my grandmother was shot twice by soldiers, and she was left for dead. Fortunately, because of the snowpack, the 2 wounds in her neck, she was able to survive it, slowed the bleeding down. In that war, she was raped. She had a baby because of it. She lost the baby. My dad lost 2 fathers during that war. Okay? We have some history on this. My dad told me he loves eating German potatoes. I said, Dad, why do you like your German potatoes? He says, son, because in the winter when we were starving, we would dig up the snow and we would look for the rotten potatoes the farmers hadn't pulled out of the ground. And that's what kept us alive. I was like, you like potatoes because of that? He said that it is his ongoing expression of gratitude. I may not be here without those rotten potatoes. Viktor Frankl loses his entire family to the war, the concentration camp. And he has this total different mindset. Man's Search for Meaning. Haven't read that book. It's a great read. And at one point when it was worse, he says, man, they took everything. They took my clothes. They took my freedoms of what I could do. They sometimes wouldn't feed us, or they'd give us a crust of bread and they would labor us and make us work. He says, but you know, there was one thing they could never manage to take from us. It could never take our choice in how we perceived, responded, and acted to what happened. And he chose to maintain a mindset. Fascinating thing in the book, he says, right before Christmas, every year in the concentration camp, there was a bunch of his cellmates that would get their hopes up. We're going to be freed. The war will end. Christmas would come and go. The new year would start, and it didn't. And within days, those that put their faith in something that didn't happen died. And he said it was like clockwork. Got to learn to take accountability, responsibility. You always have a choice. My favorite thing they say in a movie to make a good plot line is they say, I had no choice. I had to do it. Oh, man, those must, shoulds, please just be really careful with how you use those because you are not using that responsibly 99% of the time. Those are like agency robbers. Have to, must, should. No, you choose. You're always at choice. Everyone say that. I'm always at choice. This is my life. I choose. Law of the harvest. The law of harvest says this. Our life is like a garden. We reap what we sow. Every word we speak, every thought we think, every choice we make, it is a seed for how we create our future. All the results in our life, they are the fruits that grow from our beliefs and our choices. We can alter our results by altering the beliefs that bear the fruit. The law of harvest says that you got fruit. If you don't like the fruit, change the belief. If you do like the fruit, keep reinforcing it. Make sense? Good conversation yesterday about roots and fruits. Hope you took some good notes. Because anything you don't like is changeable. Because you can change yourself. Okay, law of gestation. Gestation. They always use this one in terms of like mommies having babies. That baby needs how long to gestate? 9 months. There's a natural period of time, a gestational period for all acts of creation. Just like seeds that take time to grow before they yield fruit, our dreams and goals must be nurtured, cared for, over and over until they are manifesting into reality. Patience and perseverance allow for dreams to become a reality. So check this out. Did you know that it takes 19 days for a mommy field mouse to produce a baby field mouse? It's so cute and small, but it takes 19 days. That is its gestational period for its DNA that has to form and grow into this thingy, right? Baby chick, my wife and I have got chickens, and there's like inside every mama hen, there's like 6 eggs in there at any given moment. She pops one out one a day. If you want to know how long it takes to gestate a jaguar, 93 days. And an elephant, oh, this is a big one. How long does that take? 645 days, 2 years. Let me ask you, for the moms in the room. No, I was not making a correlation between elephants and moms. I don't get it. I missed something. It's all good. For the moms in the room, when you are growing a baby, what would happen if you said, hey, I just want to take a break from this for a week. Biology for 1 week, stop producing the baby. Just for 1 week. I just need a break. And then you know what? We'll jump right back in. We could even play some catch up. What would happen to the fetus? It can't live. In other words, you cannot halt creation without killing it. You want to know why you don't get your dreams? You halt creation. I want this. I'm not sure if I want this. Dead. I'm going to do my goals this January. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I'm totally like day 14 into this thing. Day 15, this is really hard. I'm done. Dead. You lost a day. You lost something. When you halt creation, something happens. There is a consequence and a cost. So why do we get in alignment? So that you stop finding all the different ways of getting in your way so you can produce and create what you want. Let's make it real practical. Tomorrow we're talking about goals. You get a chance to hear from Jane Norris, Gerald, and myself on a bulletproof plan on making your goals unstoppable. How many of you want some of that action? Okay? Let me lay a little foundation. Top, goal achieved. Side, lesson learned. You either did get the goal, you didn't. You either learned a lesson or you didn't. If you, first top left quadrant, get the goal, If you learn the lesson, what would you call that? Oh, yeah. Love it when that happens. They gave me a board. Who's got their board? I want a board. Where's this board? They gave me a board. They said to break it, and I broke it, and I broke through the belief, and I'm successful. Well, how many of you saw people last night judging their success when they didn't break a board? That is so jacked up. Watch this. What happens when you don't achieve the goal, but you learn you are unbreakable? Friends, it is not less success, it's not more success, it's what? If you want to break the board, you have to celebrate your lessons until you get the goal achieved. Write that down. You have to cherish the lesson more than the achievement. You have to cherish the lesson more than the achievement. Here's what that means. I didn't break the board, but I learned a lesson. Dude, think about it. How did we get jacked up in the first place? Life went my way. Awesome. Life did not go my way. Failure. No. You can't do that. You're playing the odds. Don't gamble with your life. If you played life that way, then here's what you do. Parts of my life rock, and parts of my life suck. Don't be rocking and sucky in the same human being. Like, make up your mind that it's so bipolar. All right. You get the goal, you don't learn a lesson. Maybe you learned all the lessons, but you just know now. It's like, yeah, once upon a time that was hard and I learned how to do it, and now I do it effortlessly. Like my first time getting to 6 figures, I'm like, oh man, figuring out how to do this. And now it's like, dude, if I didn't make 6 figures, that'd be crazy. So what happens if you get the goal but you didn't learn a lesson? What would you call it? I would call that success. Man, are you starting to get a glimpse of what it's like to live in my life? Doesn't matter what happens, I'm always what? Oh yeah, everything goes my way. Everything goes my way. Try it on. Man, how does that feel? Man, if you believe it, you can make it true. Because you got to believe it before you see it. Well, this last one. I didn't get the goal. I didn't learn the lesson. We call that a story. Won't believe what happened. Man, first we get the story. We take our pain, we turn it into suffering, and then we spread it like a virus and tell everyone in our circle of influence so that they can protect us in this horrible little inadequacy thing we do. You saw Kim yesterday break free. She was the first to break free out of that saran wrap, and what did that create space for? Did that make it easier for the rest of you, Dawn? Made it easier, didn't it, once Kim got out? Get free. Change your mindset. If you got a story, all you got to do to fix it is learn because I want to show you something that happens in life. I need a volunteer to come on up. Brandon, will you come up here real quick? I want you to lay one on me right here. Whoa! I want you to smack me, not smack me. Okay. What he just did right there, that was gentle, that was sweet. Guys, give it up for Brandon, it's so nice. See, honestly, if I had been irking him there, that may have been a little different experience. But what I have right now is I do have a physical response. The nerves are firing. They're saying there's a feeling of discomfort. We would call it pain. Guys, pain is a part of life. Pain happens. I stubbed my toe. Ouch. But if I turn it into story is where I dwell on it and I turn pain and I transmute it into suffering. You won't believe what Brandon did to me today. Oh my gosh, he hit me. Okay, that's suffering. The pain is gone. My cheek doesn't hurt anymore. Eventually, it's temporary, right? But my perception afterwards is going to define the rest of my life until I make a new decision. In this moment, I'm making a decision. Still love you, dude. High five. Guy, give it up for this guy.
all these videos on punching, and I've been watching and doing this, so I almost went like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Thank you for not punching me. Thank you, Brandon. I would not have hit you back. I would have loved you. On my good day. By the way, I don't believe in bad days. All right. You got to learn, friends, I'm telling you right now, if you do not write this down or take a picture or do something, you're going to miss one of the most powerful lessons of this law. In Hawaii, there's this road to Hana. Anyone here done road to Hana? It's on Maui, the North Shore, north side. And the very first time I'm on Maui, they said, you got to do the road to Hana. So my wife and I, we get a convertible so that we can witness things. And they say it's the most amazing journey, and you get to Hana. So I'm like, this is great. And they're like, wait a second, it takes all day. I'm like, dude, this better be a really good Hana. Hana better be amazing because I'm in Hawaii for a week, and that's a full day. Is this a good opportunity cost, good investment? Well, I took them up on it. Oh my gosh. We had the book Maui Revealed, stop at mile marker 1.7, trek into the jungle and see this amazing sacred waterfall and go have a skinny dip or whatever, right? Oh, 2 more miles down the road, Red Sand Beach, only one on the planet, Black Sand Beach next, the Gulch with the 7 different sacred pools. And you're seeing like the craziest, 50-mile journey of awesomeness as you're driving all day. Day of my life. And then we roll into Hana. What the crap? There's nothing here. Hana is nothing. There's nothing to do in Hana. Your destination is not what should ever define any of you. The journey. Here's the switch. Learn to be what? Learn to be fulfilled and accomplished while moving in the direction of your dreams and allowing the laws of creation to manifest your desire in the appropriate time and space. It will take time to gestate. Time and space need time for faith. Babies take 9 months to form. You can't do it in 4 months, and baby elephants don't come in 1 year. They'll die. Things take their time, and when you're not aligned, they take longer. So you got to learn today, if you're going to be happy, you got to stop saying, when I, then I. When I, then I. When I get there, then I'll be fulfilled. No. We're all jacked up. We got thousands of beliefs to break through, but I just got to break through one today to get present again and to live right here in this moment. That's what I need in this moment. Not all of my beliefs fixed, just one. Law of connection. That's a lot of greatness I see in you going on right there. Our sacred self recognizes that we are one. Our ego creates separation, divorce, through comparison, competition, keeping score. We cannot hurt another without hurting ourselves. We cannot bless another without blessing ourselves. The shadow that we judge or the greatness we see in others is simply a reflection of aspects of ourselves. The more we live with unconditional love and acceptance for ourselves, the more we unconditionally love others. My wife and I didn't get divorced because we made a choice to become unconditional. Here's what it means. I love you when you're at the peak of your mountain and in the glory of your success and having your heyday and moment on earth. And I love you no different when you feel broken and destroyed and depressed, anger. I will love you no matter how you show up. And there's nothing you can do that would make me do anything different. There's nothing you can say, there's no choice you can make. I will love you no matter what. Two more. Law of faith. Law of what? Okay, law of faith. This is one of my favorites. Faith is the foundation for all actions leading to creation. So without faith, we got no power to act. We all clear on that? There is no kind of faith. There is no 90% faith. Because remember, the moment you lose your faith is the moment you killed your creation. You can't take a break from making a baby without there being a consequence. You may have to start over and make a new one. As conscious creators, we work with complete faith to manifest our desires, and we act on that faith with courage without requiring evidence from our past. Gerald says it so beautifully when he talks about everything being like a garden, having seeds. As beliefs grow, energy increases. As evidence manifests, belief grows. As the magnetic pull of attraction increases. So the intensity of the pull, moving in the direction, getting the things we want, attracting to us, the frequency of that thought then increases. The duration of transmission grows. And ultimately, we become obsessed in thought with what we want to manifest. It's an all or nothing game with faith. Anything less is doubt. And doubt is one of the number one killers of your dreams. That's why you got to start telling yourself, you are awesome. Stop waiting for that person that hurt you a long time ago to tell you. Stop waiting for your parents to say, hey, we're ready to redo your childhood now that you're 40. Let's get together and play sandcastles. Man, you can't do that. You got to give it to you. Right, Jill? Yeah. So here's a couple things you need to know about faith. This is key. In the universe, everything adds up. Everything what? 1 plus 1 is? 1 minus 1 is? No thing. You manifest nothing, no things, when you put subtraction into your equations. I like the plus sign. Not so big of a fan of the minus sign. It's like, oh, yes, this year I want to double my income. I'm going to do it. I'm going to work hard, put in extra hours. Money is evil. Go to hell. It's awesome. Oh. You just can't do that. You got to make up your mind. Stop being so bipolar. Serious. It's epidemic here. So every thought counts. Every thought adds up. Every thought is heard. My friend Tracy Roberts, he always keeps money with him in his pockets. You have your friends with you? Can you bring your friends up here real quick? Can I see your friends? So one thing that Tracy loves to say about his friends, on the top here we got Benjamin. Can you see what he has there tucked under his flowing hair? His ear. Dude, this guy got ears. Money is wrong, filthy, bad. We're out of here. Heard that. Do not go to that person's mailbox. Send them bills. Serious. Universe has ears everywhere. It's worse than the government. There are 24 ninjas in this room right now. You just can't see them. No, there's ears everywhere. The universe is hearing your thoughts. It's amazing. So listen to this. Express unwavering faith in your chosen end result as if it has what? Listen, it's already happened. I've been a billionaire since January 19th, 2009. Did you know that? That was the moment I declared it in front of 200 people and I took it in. Expect the end result especially in spite of negative consequences. Any doubt from a step in the process delays or kills the result. Conflicting thoughts sabotage. Never place energy into a perceived negative evidence. Oof, that's a big one. I have this goal, I want it, my name's Marianne, my goal is $10,000 a month, and I offered this client an opportunity to buy something and they said no. Oh, that means I won't get my goal. When you want something and evidence to the contrary presents itself, you cannot invest in that. You cannot dwell on that. Last law, law of attraction. This is the law that started the journey because a bunch of these experts put this movie out and said, if you do this one thing, just sit and think of what you want, it'll magically happen. I started experimenting extensively, and sometimes it was true, and more often than not it wasn't. I'm like, there's more to it than that. And it started my search for the 8 other laws. All the 8 laws give efficacy to this law. Law of attraction that says, like attracts like. So by the way, if you think money is bad, what are you going to attract? Bills. We attract into our lives the people, things, situations, and experiences that match our deepest beliefs and thoughts. We attract into our lives what we think about most. So our dominant and persistent thoughts eventually get hardened into concrete physical reality. You are conscious creators. The things you want. Dude, I'll never forget this. I'm sitting in my cubicle, a nobody, making less than $30,000 a year, telemarketing, dream job. I'm doing my telemarketing, I'm on the phone for these real estate gurus, and I have the thought for the first time, wow, what if I was a real estate guru and was wealthy and helping other people become wealthy? That was the first time I had the thought. 6 years later, I had a company doing just that. Financially free, massively growing my wealth, and teaching others. Careful what you think. You cannot afford a negative thought. It's too costly. That's highway robbery. A couple of quotes I really like from men I really respect. Napoleon Hill spends 20 years of his life with the most wealthy, successful people, like J.P. Morgan that sold his company for something $1 trillion in 1901. Biggest philanthropist of his time. And Napoleon says this after working with him, whatever the mind of man can conceive and bring itself to believe, not naturally, you got to get yourself to believe it, you got to bring yourself to believe it, you can then achieve it. You become what you think about most. Strangest secret, Earl Nightingale. Thomas Ford, some of us know the first half of this. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Goes on. It's your thinking that makes it so. Thomas Edison, known for the inventor of the, maybe not, check this out. The human brain emits frequencies, which when focused are picked up by other human brains and passes through the ether to affect other physical matter. How did we manifest a solution for my son? Friends, this was deliberate, and I give God the glory. It's leveraging his laws. The thought is, we can give our son a normal life, and we believe that with all of our heart. And then we just happened to meet someone that we probably shouldn't have met, that led to a doctor with this amazing history, that led to a plane flight and interviewing the doctor, and 3 years later, my son he wasn't even talking. He wasn't even potty trained. Within 4 months, he potty trained. He started talking. Now he argues with me. There are days I'm like, can we go back a little bit, just a little bit? No, I'm trying to invent the real universal remote where I can just pause him. Just pause, stop. Dad stuff, I'm working on it, so good. All right, here's the deal. Now we're getting to the formula. How do we take these 9 laws? We bring them all together. I'm going to give it to you right now. First, you got to understand the universe is like this supercomputer that can calculate the most complex mathematical algorithms, which is very cool because it can help you get what you want. You just got to know your part and let it do its part. You got to know and let it do. Some of you are trying to do the universe's part and you're screwing it up. Here are the mechanics of manifesting when you are living these 9 laws. Friends, commit to master. You owe it to yourself. You can have anything you want. Everything goes your way. You can create the abundance and prosperity, the level 10 out of 10 connection you want in your relationships. Listen, you can have it all. And here's how. Define what you want as opposed to, man, I don't want bills, and I don't like it when my wife does this, and I wish you'd clean up this one thing. And now you got to get clear on what you want. Put your energy there. You can't split your focus. You'll kill your creations. Define what you want with the result in mind, and then you fully experience it regularly in the flesh. Yeah, multi-billion-dollar company. Listen, if you can't feel emotion from what you want, emotion is what drives, the why is what drives the behavior, not what you logically know. You got to feel it keenly, regularly. Then you move in the general direction of what you want, feeling as if the goal has already been attained. When I say moving in the general direction, it sometimes looks like this. Not a straight line. Because I'm waiting for inspiration to drop my breadcrumbs, course correct. God has this to work with. I feel bad for him. So he's going to speak to us in ways that we get it. So he's going to say, make this one goal. I already know that you're not going to achieve it, but trust me, it will put you in the right direction. Why was I inspired to get the goal if I never got it? Because you were advancing in the right direction of where you really want to go. Man, I remember sitting in my first seminar years ago, sitting in the crowd, and I was watching this individual on stage thinking, oh, my heart is pumping. I want to help change the world. I think that's in me. And after the event, I go up to him and say, oh my gosh, I want to do that. I can do that. No, I couldn't do that. But it set me on a path. I got clear with what I wanted. How many of you know that with living your mission and purpose, there's a stage in life for you? And that if you knew how to wield that stage and gather the people and share your message, that you would find great fulfillment from sharing your message. How many of you know that? Yeah, there's a lot of people here in this room that are our messengers. Step 3, this is the important part. You've got to have faith that the universe is manifesting the how, whether it looks like it or not. Here's the wrap up, final slide. Your part is to know what and why. The universe's part is to do the when and how. And as we wrap up this segment, I want to drive home on this one point. You got to know what you want, and then you've got to live the laws to receive the how. Not what your mind says the how is. You'll never get there nearly as fast. You may never get there at all. Carson, can you pull that down for me? Here at Limitless, we have put together some really amazing opportunities. This afternoon, we're going to show you a video from our Hawaii experience. And some of you in this room are going to get invited to come to Bali. How many of you need a little more adventure in your life? How many of you are up for a once-in-a-lifetime adventure? Yeah. Okay, what if I could put my certified team in our coaching in front of you and give you 90 days launching so that you have a start? So you can start moving in the direction that you want. How many of you know that you need a mentor to help you crack through your most numbing beliefs? How many of you know you need that? Because you won't see them, you will not see them without help in the beginning. You need a mentor. Okay? Do I have anyone here in the room that is thinking, I really don't know what this inner circle aggressive program is, but from what I've seen, if I can master this and own this, I need that in my life. How many of you want to start really having the life where you get it all? You get this one life to live, and then we die. And I want to look back on mine, and I want to say, I did everything to fulfill my potential. How many of you want that? Yes, we do. And here's what I can tell you. I don't know if the programs we offer are actually right for you. We have free programs. We have that $69 3-day wealth event. We range all the way up to our very aggressive inner circle. People invest $35,000 to have those monthly and quarterly and weekly ingrained experiences with unlimited breakthrough. So we have something for those that just want to get their feet wet, everything in the middle and in between. And frankly, it's up to you really to decide if any of those things match. But we're going to take a break in a minute. And when we do, you have an opportunity to explore, have a brief meeting with our strategists. And what they're going to do is they're going to get to know you. And they're going to lay some options out based on where you're at, and you get to see if any of them resonate. Listen carefully. This is where people mess it up. You got to get out of your own way. You are not here by coincidence, and you are not here by accident. In life, when something resonates, I don't care if you don't have the money. Carson, put that last slide up one more time for me. I don't care if you don't have the money. I don't care if you don't know how you're going to make it happen. That's not your business. Your business is to know what you... So they're going to put some options in front of you, and frankly, you may need mentorship from a different company, or maybe there's someone that you know that you feel inspired to reach out to. But there are people here in this room that will say, I'm going to Bali. I need that introductory mentoring. I want that aggressive mentoring. And if any of that resonates, this is the one thing I'm going to invite you. Know what you want in life, know why you want it, and stop disqualifying yourself with your limiting beliefs. Stop allowing your limiting beliefs to disqualify your God-given opportunity. I'll wrap up with this last thought. I was 18 years old, getting ready to serve this 2-year LDS mission. My 3 older brothers had already left home, 4 siblings at home. My parents and I, they only ever vacation in one place. We're from Redmond, Washington, and we would vacation in Cannon Beach, Oregon. Anyone here ever been to that tiny little town? It's a beautiful town. My parents, it's such a secret, right? So small, so preserved. My parents honeymooned there, and it just became the only place we ever vacationed during the summer. And this was going to be my last time taking that family trip before everything was going to change. Go on a mission, go to college, everything was going to shift. And me and my younger sister, Lori, we were out wading in the ocean, and we loved as kids to do this thing where we would ride the waves. And if you know Cannon Beach, it is the most gentle slope. So you got to get out there like 1/10 of a mile. Feels like 2/10 of a mile just to even get waist deep. So by the time you get waist deep, you can hardly see the people on the shore. So we're going all the way out there as far as we can. And this is a really nasty, windy, blustery day, which made for great wave riding. And the swells are like 8 to 10 feet tall, and they're rolling. And all of a sudden, I'm riding this massive wave. We had gone out so far that when it came all the way down, I could barely touch my toe to the ground, and I felt this harsh rip current. And I immediately backed myself up. BSA, Boy Scouts lifeguard, which means very minimal training as a boy. I backed myself up till I got my firm ground, and I couldn't feel that riptide. When I looked up, my sister was being pulled out to ocean. And I started encouraging her, Laura, you got to swim back in. You got to come back in. And she was getting further and further away. And I could tell she was tired. She is not a strong swimmer. She's 6'2". She's a big girl. And I became deathly afraid for her life. And I turned around, and I was riding the waves, doing everything I could, jumping up and down. And I don't know how, maybe it was just my vigilant father and God touching his heart, but he saw me, and I saw his little speck run off. And as I turned back around, my sister was so far away, I thought, there's no way he'll make it back in time. We always have a choice. And the choice was right in front of me in that moment. Jump in, save your sister, or watch her drown and regret it for the rest of your life. There was no way I was going to live with that. I jumped in after my sister. It was an easy decision. In fact, I felt heroic. I was BSA trained. I'm swimming as hard as I can. I get all the way out to my sister. She's tired. She's starting to go under. So I do the proper carry, arm under the armpit here, over the neck, and my body is underneath, trying to, with my strength, to prop her up as I'm trying to swim us in. She's so big, and I was not strong enough to do anything else but keep our heads above the water. And she was so tired that she was having the hardest time swimming, and I was having the hardest time keeping her above water. And all of a sudden, I was like, great, this is it. Like, we're both going to die. You will not leave your sister, but she's not going to make it. And I felt so out of control. I felt so helpless. And the people, they have these near-death experiences, and they talk about the things they think about before the end. And I didn't die, but my life did flash before my eyes. You know what was bizarre? All the things I thought about were the things I was guilty of. I felt shame about. And I knew that in my heart I had not lived my purpose. And I did the only thing I knew how to do. I started screaming prayers as if they could rise above the noise of the ocean. I wanted to be heard. And the most amazing thing happened. a single wave. A single wave came. And you don't ride waves because they don't break. But this one wave carried my sister and I all the way in till we could stand at our waist. And my sister was so tired, I carried her out of the ocean. And my mom, she was bawling, and she's like, "You saved your sister's life." And I'm like, I did not save anyone's life. I didn't save my own life. My life had been saved. I felt inspired to share this with you because from that moment forward, I have known this is my life. This is my one life right now, and I am not going to waste it. I am not. And it has given me the courage to face some of my darkest limiting beliefs, to take on mentorship. It has propelled me to do everything I can to figure out how to live life to get that fulfillment, expressing purpose through serving. And I have to tell you something. I love my life. I have that feeling of fulfillment now. I like to think that if I had a near-death experience, the images, so many happy, I have so many amazing life experiences from having had a chance to live this different way. I'll tell you, when you sit down with those strategists, the programs we have put in place are designed to accomplish one thing: to teach you these 9 laws and to overcome your limiting beliefs so that you can start living life at your true potential to be the gift that God has put you on this earth for. Thank you.